technically, right, why clients are moving to Snowflake. So we are saying there is a huge demand for Snowflake, and clients are started using Snowflake, right? Why? What is the reason, right? Technical, we'll try to understand. If you see, give me a second. Let me put the specific case. If you take, right, um, you know, directly or indirectly, every day we will create, even without realizing, right? We'll create data, right, every day. That is, as soon as we wake up, what we'll do, we'll check notifications on our phone, right? WhatsApp or
Sorry
Facebook.
for the interrupted.
Yeah, yep,
This is Chandran. I have a small doubt, please clarify.
sure, sure.
You told that you don't want to any database, it is just creating for the website, just to
No,
show
no.
on to website.
It
That
is it is through browser like this. See here. This is how you'll access data. I mean, you'll log into Snowflake and access things
okay, okay.
like
Yeah,
Gmail. Okay, you'll get to know. Don't worry. Okay.
yeah, okay, okay, fine. Thank you.
Mhm. You don't have to install software. That's what I was saying. Okay, you don't have
Okay,
to install software. You'll
okay.
just say like your Gmail. You log in, okay, with user and
Mm-hmm.
password through browser, and like practice things, and even working. How you'll work is this way only. Okay, I'll explain. Don't worry.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you.
Mhm. If you have any doubts, if you have any confusion, you can ask then and there. If you have any doubts, we'll take it in the end. So far, any confusion? Hello.
Yeah, I don't have any confusions.
Okay, so let's see, like technically, why Snowflake? I mean, clients are moving to Snowflake. Okay, we'll try to understand. Okay, then we'll take the questions on high level. I mean, in the sense, after that, if you have any confusion or doubts, say, as I said, knowingly or unknowingly, we are generating data, right? As soon as we wake up in the morning, they will check notifications on our phones, like say WhatsApp, Facebook, or like if you are transferring money through net banking, a phone pay, Google Pay, all these things, right? In the back end, if you perform any transaction, that is it, you are transferring money to your friend, I mean, then in the back end, that is being stored somewhere in a database, right? I mean, all the data, right, where it is stored in a database. Okay, so there are different types of database management systems. That is Oracle. I hope everyone are aware, Oracle is one of the, it is not a database, it is database management system. The same way Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, these are all database management systems. Okay, that is what it is. This is a software. DBMS is, that is database management system, is a software. Okay, if you install that on a computer, you call that as server. Okay, if you install that specific DBMS, right, that software, either Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, or any a software in a computer, you call that as server. Okay, inside your server, right, you will have you can have multiple databases. You will see, we'll be covering all this database concepts in detail, okay, in our regular sessions. This is on high level. Okay, so here what we are trying to say is, you will if you install that DBMS type, say Oracle or SQL Server, that software in one computer, you call that as server, database server. Okay, or database RDBMS server. So inside that server, you can have multiple databases. We'll be seeing all these things practically, don't worry. Okay, now what all the data, right, all the data whichever we are saying, it will be stored in database. That's what we are saying, right? That data, right, it will be stored in this server, in those databases. Okay, and how you will access that data is, right, through network. Through network, users will be accessing the data here. Okay, here in case of relational databases, I mean our traditional databases like Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, these are all relational databases, traditional databases. Here, as I said, if you install that in one particular computer, you call that a server. The main issue, see, we already have all these relational databases, all these things, right? Then why we have to go for Snowflake? That's what I was trying to explain you. Okay, now if you take this particular relational database servers like Oracle, SQL Server, all these things, it is, you have the data here. If you have to run your queries, right, that is access the data. How you'll access data that is there in these databases? We will use language called SQL, structured query language, SQL. Okay, it is like general English, not like Java or something. Okay, it will be very simple and easy to learn. Anyone can understand it. So using SQL, Okay, you will kind of access the data that is there in, you will manage the data that is there in your database. That is, you will insert data, you will kind of query the data, query in the sense access the data. So we will use SQL for that. Okay, so if you have to run that SQL queries, right, in your database, you would require compute resources. Even if you wanted to play a game in your computer, what you would need processor, RAM, all those things, right? Processor, RAM, memory. So these things you want, right? So even if you have to access the data using query, right, you will see practically what it is. Theoretically, right, if you have to run any query or access the data, you would require compute resources. That means, what is compute resources? Compute resources means your processor, right? In a computer will have processor, right? Processor, RAM, okay, memory, all that thing. That is all your data, whatever you are trying to load into your server or into your database, that will be stored in hard disk of that machine. Okay, hard disk of that particular computer. Machine or computer means same. And then how you will access the data that is there in that particular hard disk is, that is, if you run any query, users run any query through network, it would require RAM, processor, RAM, all these resources. Okay, those things you call it as compute resources. Okay, since it is single computer, right? Single computer, if the volume of data increases, right, if you compare to 10 years back, okay, the way data was being generated, so how many users were using net banking or using phone pay, if you take 10 years back? Now if you take, how everyone are using data, right, in the sense, uh, through internet of things, right, and digital devices, since they have gone up, your data is also growing very fast, right? If the volume of data increases, right, if the volume of data increases and number of users increases, okay, then what will happen? If it is single computer, right, how much resources you would get? That is compute resources, in the sense, your processor, right? You may upgrade it to high end processor if the volume of data increases, or like if number of users increases. Then, since it is single computer, like you will face the main thing that you face is your performance issues. Okay, clients will, if the volume of data increases or queries increase, users increases, then they would face, like, let me close this. They would face performance issues, and sometimes the server also will crash, because if the number of users increase, right, what would happen? What I'm trying to say is, you will get certain processor and RAM. With that processor and RAM, right, you will be able to run or access data, only a certain number of queries, not all the queries. If you take, for example, okay, for example, if you take, when results, results are released for your SSC or PUC, right, intermediate, right? When results are released, you would have observed, all of a sudden, like, the server will crash. They say, right, server will crash. What is the reason? All of a sudden, number of users will increase. Okay, since it is kind of one server in the backend, one computer in the backend, it will not be able to serve all the users query. All the users. Okay, in that case, that particular server will crash. Okay, so that kind of issues you face. Okay, that's what it is. It's not just that. If you take big billion days in Flipkart, right now it is running, right? What will happen? Compared to usual days, the load on that particular, on those days on that server will be high, right? Okay, the number of users, all of a sudden it will increase. So what will happen? Users are increasing, right, and the transactions, number of transactions are also being increased, right? In that case what will happen? You would require more, if it is single server, what would happen? What we can do is, in case of relational databases, right, you can increase your compute resources. That is, you can upgrade to a high end processor, okay, in order to serve, a lot of users, are the volume of data. Okay, see, hard disk we can increase. You can, if the volume is increasing, you will add, for that one particular computer, you will add more, hard disk, right, more storage capacity you can add. And then, if number of users are increasing, right, you may upgrade it to high-end processor. Okay, this way vertical scaling, you call that as vertical scaling. That is, for one particular